Welcome to Sound Mind International. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Sound Mind International. Welcome to part 6 of our Sound Mind principles, and the title is Status Quo, taken from our anchor scripture of Matthew chapter 6, verse 25, and it reads, "Therefore, I say to you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat, what you will drink, nor about your body, what you will put on. Is there not more to life than food, and the body more than clothing?" What is the status quo? This is where people get comfortable in life, comfortable with their jobs, comfortable with the results they get, comfortable with their previous accomplishments, comfortable with their positions, comfortable with doing the same thing and expecting a different result. This madness. Comfortable with the routine that they have day in and day out. And that is why I'm here to ask you today, is there not more to your life than that? Now, the status quo can be dangerous to the mind. This is because you're not learning anything new. Your mind is not being renewed. Your mind becomes adjusted to that routine. You used to be ambitious, 5-10 years ago, but 5-10 years, down the line and with lots of responsibilities, you lose zeal, you lose that motivation of your dreams and passion, and you get adjusted to the status quo. Now, I understand some people can't help it because of the situation, bad environments, or generational curses, but develop yourself, at least for the sake of the destinies that are attached to you or that are attached to your rising. That is why it is good to have dreams and ambition that you got too comfortable in that job, in that business, because it pays the bills. But had you had focused passion coupled with discipline, you would have been at the uttermost top. It is important that we surround ourselves in an environment with the people that can sharpen us. Why? Because iron sharpeneth iron. But if you're not developing yourself and people are just, sharpening you, when are you actually going to become sharpened enough to start sharpening other people? Because you can't have people just pouring it into you. When are you going to develop yourself to the point, where you start to pour into other people? So you meant to tell me, in that circle of friendship, you're the only one that is advanced. You're the only one who's always giving advice. You're the only one who's always ambitious. And your heart will deceive you into thinking you have arrived in life, when really it's just your surroundings. And really, you're just using your accomplishments and you're comparing it with the people around you. You're comparing it, maybe with your friends, maybe with your family. Maybe you're the first person in your family to go to university. Maybe you're the first person in your family to start a business. So you need to be careful, because your heart can be very deceiving of the status quo. And the devil sometimes, with his subtlety and with his thoughts, just whispers in your thoughts, you don't need to read that book. You don't need to hang around, those influential people. Yes, those people that are doing the same thing you've been meaning to do for the past 3 or 5 years, you don't need to hang around with them. You don't need to attend that training. You don't need to develop yourself. It's too far away. It will take you 2 years to complete, or it's too expensive. And because he knows that the books you read and the people you hang around with in the next 5 years, it will determine your net worth or where you will be, because birds of the same feather, they flock together. And if you got some friends that have no goals, no ambition, and always reminiscing of the good old times, you need to, hasta la vista, me encanta, I love you, but you need to wish them well. And because, not because you wish them any bad, but you just need to kiss them goodbye and wish them well, because I'm tired of the status quo. There's gotta be more than this. There's gotta be more, gotta be more. There's gotta be more than this. That I say to you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat, what you will drink, nor about your body, what you will put on. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothing? The status quo will deceive you where you'll be living under somebody's care or grace. And for somebody, instead of your mind to be thinking to utilize that season, to utilize that time, to save up, maybe develop your career, develop yourself, maybe start a business or plan to build something of your own, it will leave you comfortable and seated because, if it's food, it's there. If it's housing, it's there. If it's clothing, it's there. If it's money, it's given to you. But wait till you find out how hard and difficult life really can be. So therefore, I say to you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat, what you will drink, nor about your body, what you will put on. Is not life more than food, more than the body, more than clothing? Now, I used to be a victim of the status quo. And I mean, maybe perhaps you could be, this could not apply to you. Maybe you could be a pastor, for example, or a businessman. You could be genuinely praying and asking, to God for more church members, or a businessman, praying to God for more customers, that people will buy your products, people will buy your services. Maybe you get a contract, but something about your heart deceives you because it has grown comfortable with the status quo and the results you have already. And God, He has to honor and grant you the desires of your heart, because what did it say? Delight yourself in the Lord. He will grant you the desires of your heart. Your mouth speaks progress, ambition, dreams, enlargement of your coast, but your heart desires and it is comfortable with the status quo. Therefore, I say to you watching this, do not worry about your life, what you will eat, what you will drink, nor about your body, what you will put on. It's not life more than food, more than what you will put on, more than your current situation, more than that job, more than that career, more than that place that you might be currently at this particular moment. Ways to get over the status quo. You need to have some form of passion, a plan, a purpose for your sense of life, of waking up every morning. There has to be something that drives you, something that, because when I do this, for y'all that God put in my heart, this time and international, there has to be something that gets you studying, gets you worked up, that you are waking up every day in the morning excited to do this. And as well as having a plan and realistic goals to achieve those dreams, you need to have and develop a strategy. And the strategy that works for me best is, putting something out there in public, because my integrity is at stake. If I say, at this particular date, this is what I'm doing, this is what's coming out, it comes out at that particular date. It is accomplished. It is ticked. But I don't set goals that are so low that you can just about, high five it. You can just about leap over it. I want to thank you very much for listening and thank you for tuning in. But before I go, I'd like to warn you that Jesus Christ is coming soon. We're at the beginnings of birth pangs. But where will He find you? Have you grown comfortable with the status quo of where you are? Is there a purpose or a sense for your life that if your Lord was to come today, will you leave with the essence that you have managed your time properly? You have done the things that you wanted to do? Or will it be full of regret, of time and years wasted? I want to thank you very much for listening, and may you not lose your crown to the status quo. Until next time, keep thinking.